Okay, so are you comfortable?
I'm not really comfortable with interviews.
So,
I'm not really comfortable right now.
okay.
The seat is very uncomfortable. It's just,
So the seat is fine,
it doesn't even seem like it's
and
designed to
we
be
just
sat.
put you there beside the books just to give that impression of intelligence.
It's okay.
Okay, the impression.
It's okay.
And if you could
So-
just, are you ready?
Start talking about the film, give my thoughts, giving the insight.
I've got specific questions I want to ask you.
Okay, shoot.
What was the inspiration
Let's go.
behind this film?
I was kind of deep in that kind of post-university malaise, that kind of wasteland.
What is he doing?
You
with his
finally
hands?
had your big success, you've graduated, and then nobody cares.
God.
And you go back to living with your parents, you start working at home base, so you have some sort of money coming in, and you slowly go mad.
You're like, let's try and make
So I
it
was
snappy.
thinking
Okay,
about
let's
it.
make it snappy.
I was kind of stuck in this kind of boring life, and I was imagining my kind of CIA operative or whoever,
You know, five
the UK
word
equivalent
answers
is,
maybe. Let's get over
spying
with.
on me watching this and just getting steadily more and more bored and depressed, much like I was. So
Tell me
that was the
more.
kind of genesis of the idea.
Tell me more.
So apart from filling me with existential dread, working at home base also kind of inspired the film in other ways. For example, the kind of particular character who became the kind of inspiration behind Mr. Brown. He was just like the nicest man, everyone loved him. But if you start talking about lawnmowers or wood stain, he'd just go on and on and on and on and on, and
I
he'd be
can't
there like
imagine what that
hours.
would be
And he wasn't great at picking up social cues, like, I don't know, yawning and you know, staring listlessly into the distance, or I don't know, falling asleep. He kind of loved everything that, you know, I found, you know, perishingly boring. You know, this was almost his personal nirvana. He'd found his place in the world. That was kind of the impetus for Mr. Brown, and then the interrogator, the person who's interrogating him, that kind of came from my general self-hatred and self-doubt, using all this kind of negativity in my life and putting it into something creative to help.
Really inspiring.
So yes.
So what
kind of
challenges did you have to overcome?
I was kind of director, producer, writer. So this kind of success of the project, you know, that
I see.
was
So
all really
this is a vanity
on me,
project.
and it's all your fault. You can't blame anyone else. So that was one challenge, but there's lots of kind of weird things that went wrong in the filming as well. So for example,
So can we wrap this up? We
the
don't
actor
have
who
that
played
much
Mr.
time left.
Brown got attacked by bees during the night in his B&B room, so he didn't get any sleep. What else happened?
Beautiful.
We hired a dolly,
Yes.
but then the people at the equipment place didn't give us wheels for the dolly, so we had to rewrite our shot list on the fly and get rid of all the tracking shots, which was, you know, great.
Wow, that was
I
interesting.
created a wee pump to fire the blood when you know, the interrogator blows his brains out and it splatters on the TV screen.
Blah, blah, blah,
But
blah,
that
blah.
didn't work, so I ended up having to, you know, just drink a cup of the fake blood. It was like syrup and corn flour, so it tasted alright. And then just like spit it onto the TV. So it actually works quite well, but it did mean that for the rest of that day I was, you know, directing like, I don't know, Count Dracula after an all-you-can-eat buffet. But I guess the main challenge
That's
was
very funny.
post-production. Once I'd kind of finished and locked the picture and the sound design was getting done, the sound designer that was doing it moved to New York halfway through working on it, and then was no longer in contact. So that was us scuppered, and then I didn't have enough money to get another sound designer at the time.
I can imagine.
And so I just put it on the back burner, and and to be honest, the film became a kind of albatross. It just felt like a symbol of my kind of
You're just
failure
rambling. You're
to,
just
to
rambling.
get it done, and I kind of started resenting it a little bit.
Okay, so can we
the
get
film
on with this? We
language
don't
for
have all
some
day.
time, because when I got money I decided to make a new short, so I made Drone, I made Relevant Relocation Officers, and then I was able to use what I learned from making these other films to re-edit it and make it a lot stronger, cut out a lot of the stuff that wasn't working. I think I cut out like 5 minutes out of it, so it's a lot kind of leaner now. And then we've got Jim McAdams, who's a fantastic sound designer, to finish up the sound. almost glad that all the kind of false starts
Look,
during
dude,
the
you
kind
didn't
of
ask-
searching for a sound
didn't ask
designer
for your life
ended
story
up
before
making this film
questions.
stronger. You know, again, rising above adversity is an inspirational story. It's a very inspirational story.
Oh,
It's
well done
about
you.
making this
Isn't
film.
that nice? Isn't that
Okay,
nice?
so are you going to ask me the next question?
So if there was anything you'd do differently, if you were to shoot this film again, what would it be?
So pretty much every time I make something, I wish I had more time to do kind of work with the actors. Doing like kind of low budget work, it's always so rushed. You don't have the time or the money to kind of have proper rehearsals and, you know, really kind of do the work of drama. You know, do the work.
So what you're saying is you're being a cheapskate.
So yeah, maybe just that and less bee attacks and, you know, wheels for the dolly would be nice as well.
So final question, thank God. So the film at one point teeters on the edge of killing Mr. Brown. Was that ever a consideration?
No, I never really considered it.
Well,
The kind
that
of core
wraps
message
it
of
up,
the film is all
folks. So
about
thank you so
the
much,
importance
Scottish
of
Short Film
everyday
Festival
value in
for
everyday
selecting
life.
our film. It's a
And so
great privilege to be
there's
part of
a-
this great
there's
event.
overcoming
And
these feelings
thank
of
you
kind of despair
to all the folk who
and
watched the film, who
self-loathing
enjoyed
and
it,
narcissism
and the fabulous
and
casting
feeling
crew
like
that made it
my life
reality.
wasn't exciting enough to be meaningful. It was about getting
Still
rid of these
talking.
feelings and celebrating the kind of
Still-
beauty
he's
and
still
the
talking.
self-acceptance
Shut
of the
up.
Mr. Brown character. So it'd be a bit
up, it's
depressing
over.
if I ended it
It's over.
by shooting him in the face.
I hate you.
There was also kind of meta-narrative thing to the film as well. So the
Good night, everyone, and thanks
interrogate
again.
was representing that kind of Bayhem
Good night, everyone,
idea,
and thank you
whereas
again.
Mr. Brown was more about the kind
Good
of
night, everyone,
slower
and thanks again.
poetry of the mundane, and kind of films like Coretta, like Afterlife. I was obsessed with that film at the time, or like the films of kind of Mike Leigh, where you're looking at normal people,